Product of some raw living, heading for a Scottish prison. Fuck your flawed system, I've risen above the law. Listen, I've been to hell and back, smoking crack, selling smack, try to get my story straight so I can tell it back. Became a man at 8, every night my ma was late, making sure my sister had a warm plate. But what thanks did I get? Treated like I'm a regret, exiled from my family and friends. And so I'd go nuts, the youngest Scot they'd ever looked up. So fucked, nobody understands the way I've grown up. I've been through physical and sexual abuse, living with prostitutes, peddling themselves for a boost. My city's rife with AIDS, people taking lives with blades, colder than the escapades, and so we smoking nights away. The drug and thug culture, I'm stuck with bloodthirsty vultures, and I wonder what I've done to get my lung punctured.
I wasn't born in this world, I was thrown into it. An alcoholic for a dad, and a mum who just didn't know how to love. I was up against odds right from the start. I can still see the place where my mum held my hand out slowly and burned it with a cigarette, just to teach me a lesson for playing with matches. I can still see the place where they took me into care. 36 different care homes in 8 years. I bet you they didn't even know why I never fitted in. I want to tell you a story, but in order for me to tell you this story, I'm going to have to delve into the demons of my past to find some answers, and some of them are not going to be pretty. I was taken into the care system as a vulnerable 8-year-old. I was released back onto the streets, a multitasking criminal at 16 years old. Probably at the most critical age of my life, left to my own devices. My area is completely destroyed. Through AIDS, through drugs, through nobody just giving a fuck. They've let a full generation of people died in here and just be forgotten. Just forgotten. It's hard to believe next to New York, Edinburgh was the biggest city with AIDS. And now it's like it never even happened. I've lost so many pals, friends, family, my peers. This just looks like a bit of barren wasteland to all yous. But for me, this was my childhood.
Edinburgh has not learned to live with its ignominious title of AIDS capital of Europe. The widespread use of drugs in some areas of the city has led to an explosive spread of the infection. The sharing of needles to inject heroin and the consequent passing on of infected blood is the main way in which the virus can be spread. The issuing of clean needles to addicts may be controversial, but the report's author says the AIDS problem is a more serious one than drug abuse.
To get a better understanding of my community and what addiction and drugs and poverty has done, there's only one man I know who's really got a unique insight into it. Steph. He's my own drug worker who helped me come off the methadone.
When I was first here in '84, that was the explosion, that was the kind of HIV explosion then. Roy Robertson did his paper, which he published in '85, I think it was. So Roy from Muris Medical Group, and he looked at blood assays that he had refrigerated for his drug-using patients. I think it was 167 patients. 51% of those patients were found to be HIV positive. And this added to sort of the burgeoning global realisation that there was a connection between injecting drug use and HIV. Similar studies were done in Glasgow, England and Wales. In Glasgow, 4.5% of the patients in Glasgow were found to be HIV positive. In England and Wales, it fluctuated between 5 and 10%. So Muirhouse, 51%. The rest of the country, somewhere between 5 and 10%. And I think that's why Edinburgh was tagged the AIDS capital of Europe in the mid-80s, and Muirhouse was probably the hub of that capital.
My life's changed so much. I never really thought that I'd be a family man. I remember in my past, the dark days, when I used to say to myself when I died, nobody will ever come to my funeral.
Really, you're just fun. Think you're breakdancer.
That just doesn't even seem like me anymore.
You've not changed your socks, so get them changed.
And actually when they do something, when they I can buy you high top.
Please.
Wow. Huh?
Brian, what do you think? Which ones?
Looking at my kids, I dread to think what they would do without me. After all these years that I took drugs, I think it's about time that I went and got myself checked for AIDS and Hep C. So that's me just been for a AIDS test and a Hep B booster. That's where the needle went in for the HIV. It's funny, an ex-junkie. I'm not even an ex-junkie. The doctor doesn't think that I'm an addict because I'm on 5-dihydrocodeine. And if I wanted to, then I could have went and got methadone because I'm in such a low mood. He says, if I want to go and get methadone, I can go back on my methadone program anytime I want, which I just think's fucking appalling. I'm sitting in that fucking surgery, and as I'm sitting in that surgery, I'm looking around me, thinking how many people have been here before me, the story that I'm trying to tell, how many of them, I'm running out of numbers now. I've run out of numbers for the amount of pals that I know that have died. I come from a generation where hope never fades. Most of my people were taken by AIDS. To ignorant people, that's HIV. Come, look at my story. Let's look at everybody's child. Tam's had the virus for 21 years. When he first got told he had the virus, he was told he was handed a death sentence. Everything I know about living with somebody with AIDS has come from Tam. But Tam's beat the virus. I think the combination of therapy of drugs have helped that.
Guy's 21 now. Thomas must be 33.
Aye.
Sarah, 28.
28 and pregnant, I've got to be a granda.
Oh!
Just think before the combination come out, I just used to live day to day. I didn't even used to bother if I'd die in the morning. I used to fall asleep and say, well, if I fall asleep and die, I'm not bothered.
Did you get to a point where you were like, fuck it, with the virus? Like, I'm not even asking that.
Well, that was before the combination come out. It was in the 80s, and there was people catching the virus, like in Leith and stuff like that. But if it was a thing like, if you had the virus, you're a fucking alien. You know what I mean? Nobody would come near you, sort of thing. But I'm just the sort of guy that would say, I want the virus, I would. You know what I mean? And if anybody says anything about you, it's always behind your back.
Aye, never your face.
You know what I mean? So it didn't matter to me.
Remember when that guy says, remember when he says to you, can you give me some of your blood so I can get on DLA?
Aye. Unbelievable.
The guy wanted to inject your blood so he can get the virus, so he could get more brew money.
Aye, so you could get the high rate.
I was like, you're going to be fucking kidding. I remember when you told me that, I was like,
I says to the guy, I says,
you just come in the house.
Nuts.
Fucking unbelievable, man. That's mad.
The best one was when you went down to my house and I had all the valleys and all that. And I put them all in the toilet and flushed them. you were fucking booking.
I was like, how can you do that? You could have just gave them to me. It's amazing. I just seen them going down the sink and I'm like, you can't do that. It's like throwing an ounce of kit into the fucking water. It's like, well, I'm not sure I'd bung that away, but...
Done you a favour.
You did do me a favour. I'll tell you something now that you might not know, right? Can I say that I flushed the smack in the toilet? I took it up to the house with Brian, right?
What's you over now then? You just stuck yourself in your way, though. You're still not learning.
To continue with my future, I've got to face up to the demons in my past. One of these demons is something I did to Tam's mum. I want to apologise to her.
So how are we going to get in the stair? Press the buzzer.
Pass the ball. Have you been doing line gouging, Gary?
Not for a long time. Not for a long time, yeah.
What my ma's been through.
Aye.
Aye.
See,
Through hell and back. With a family like we've got Derek Hughes in that passed away. Tricia, his wife, passed away. Brian did now and again.
No, no often, no.
Not very often.
Unless you met
Willie
Gary.
did,
That's
but not very often. He got Hep C, but he managed to get rid of it
Aye.
because of his insurance in the car and all that stuff. And I was the worst.
kind of like the Christmases and everything that you gave me, kind of like when I first came out of care, and we always remember the laughs we used to have at Christmas. I'd never heard that before, because being in a children's homes, you never seen any of
Everybody
that.
could come in my house at Christmas, New Year, any time they wanted.
I need to apologise for something. Let me get this right. I want to apologise for something that I done in the 90s, which was bring heroin back into your house. And I should have learned after time in that heroin just fucking destroys families, and I never. And I want to apologise to you for that. Just that in itself. There's probably a million and one other things I have to go to apologise for, but.
Well, you want me to start? We will start, Gary.
But that's just the one, because like if you've never done what you've done, like when I was 16 and my nana had obviously died, I wouldn't be here.
But your wife was the same, Gary. She never gave you much. If she was on it and you were on it, what?
No chance.
You have no chance in hell, or you're coming off.
No.
Because you try to come off and she's taking it and you, just have gone, just a wee bit, Gary. And that's what I said to you then, but you wouldn't listen to me then.
You couldn't, I didn't think I could listen at all.
You said to me, no, I'm coming to ban you, as soon as I looked at your face.
That's what, looking back on it now, thinking about how me and Angie would walk in here
That's right.
and go,
Oh.
like that. But now I feel like, how could you do that, Gary? Kind of like, but at the time...
At the time, that's what it was done.
It didn't seem like I was doing anything wrong, kind of like...
Then you said, oh, she's coming off. It's Gary, she's not coming off, have a good look at her. But you couldn't look at her because you were seeing the same as what you were doing.
I wanted to pay my respects. I had lay flowers at the graves of Tam's brother, Tam's sister-in-law. I didn't want to say any names, but I know a lot of my people are buried here. And it's horrible, looking around, seeing name after name after name after name that I know. There wasn't even enough flowers to go around. And I feel so fucking sad for that.
When I have a feeling like this, my first thought is heroin. There's no other thought. First thing I think about is smack. That tin foil. The taste. The money. I fucking miss it. I miss it a lot. I miss the smack days a lot, which sounds fucking weird. But I'll tell you what, when I was on smack, I never ever felt any of this pain, and my hands never shook. My hands did never shake on smack. And I didn't ever have a conscience. Never ever had a guilty conscience on smack. Now I feel like I'm fucking guilty for everything. Now I feel like I apologise at every given opportunity. I almost feel like cunts like me didn't deserve to be here.
Rule number 1, get yourself a gun. Rule number 2, stay loyal to your crew. Rule number 3 is so special to me. Smoke that weed, set your mind free. Rule number 4, always make sure there's no children in that house before you go through that door. Rule number 5, on our fucked up streets, stay more than survive. Rule number 6, make sure the drug squad are out your mix. Rule number 7, take a toke of that joint for your boys up in heaven. Rule number 8, always double up when you're doing your last date. Rule number 9, if that female's fine, touch her softly, compliment her mind. Trust me, you'll hit that in time. And rule number 10, always stack more than you spend, and if you're reincarnated, come back and do this shit all over again.
Hello there, Doctor Surgery. Can I help you?
Hi, I wonder if you could tell me, please. Yeah, I had an appointment with Dr. David. And the purpose of the appointment was for a HIV test.
Okay, I'll get a message to your doctor first thing in the morning and he'll give you a ring.
Okay, that's brilliant. Thank you.
No problem.
Cheers.
Thanks.
Bye.
Filmmaking has helped me overcome barriers that I never ever thought would be possible.
Connor, Thomas, Andy, you've got your characters. You know what your characters are.
When you're somebody like me, your past either works for you or it works against you. With Wido Media and working with the kids, my past definitely works for me.
Cut. That's a little better. Yeah, watch. Cut. Same again. Boom. Same again. Boom, boom, boom.
I know these guys are at a critical age. I was at that age once as well. I'm so proud of them. Seeing them come here every week and doing what they do. Doing something creative instead of getting into trouble on the street. That makes my life very, very special.
Right? It's up to you what you bring from here on in. This is the foundations for the film. Just think about your characters first. When Saturday comes, you've got to be in amongst it. Do you know what I mean? There's got to be people outside watching and stuff like that, but if you're in character, you're starting to feel. Do you know what I mean? I want you to feel like your character's emotions. This is the last time. Go!
Yeah, you see me fine. Hold on here, hold on. What are you saying? What's going on here?
He's nothing to do with this. Nothing to do with it.
Marcus, you better shut the fuck up. I was like, fuck you.
Cut! That's brilliant. That's fucking amazing. Compared to last week, that's I just want to end it on a fucking high like that. Look at the difference from last week to now.
We bring the funkin' back in. 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 We bring the funkin' back in.
Jump over the fence, right?
I'm going to speak to you for a minute, you're in. Come over here, man.
Listen, we've got that behind us, right? Aaron. So we've got that behind us. You're coming in, you're speaking to Michael. Listen, Aaron, listen to me. Right, look at me. Right, you need to come in, you've got to speak to Michael, and you're not happy about Marcus being dry tit. Right? So we've got Aaron coming through there. Hold on. But it's that looks good. Right. Action! Go for it!
What have you fucking done?
That's it, marry that.
Fucking made it.
Cut!
Sometimes when you stay in a council estate, it's like staying in a big villa. There's that many different cameras. You don't know who's looking at who. Is it any surprise we all cover our faces? I'm shocked that other people find it shocking that we live like this.
What do you think other cunts think of us? Like, see,
Neds.
Neds.
I guarantee Ned.
Ned is what first time it pops into any country. I don't care who it is. Ned.
See, if somebody called you a Ned, what would you do?
Well, it depends who it is. But if it was like some cunt just being like, yeah, you're a Ned, I'd be like, what?
Do you feel that offensive?
Aye.
How many times have you seen people walk down a street and see people like us, and then they turn back around again and walk away?
Loads of people.
Aye.
One thing everybody in this room hates, but
Junkies.
junkies.
The junkies.
One thing that everybody in this room hates is junkies. The one thing that controls North Edinburgh is drugs. You know, I think that's, do you know what that's called? A paradox. Because what's ruling these streets, without a doubt?
But they're standing about in it.
Junkies.
Aye, this
What's a-
centre
what-
junkies.
Centre
fucking
junkies. What's a
Greasy
junkie?
Sleazy George and that.
So, like, what defines a junkie? Because I know I take valleys, and I've got to skip on this.
Smackhead.
Like,
So somebody takes smack.
Aye, it's heavy on it, on the hard shit.
Somebody's just they're not all the time.
Aye.
But who are they even bothered about? That's what annoys me. They'll walk about the streets with their beards and everything. Ah, pure Mongolified. That's pure dirty. The bairn doesn't deserve any of that shit. Just like what happened to us when we were growing up. But nobody used to think to themselves back then days, oh, that's brutal on that bairn.
Understand that.
Bairns are, it's brutal when you see a bairn walking over with a junkie, especially bairns that are already old enough to be embarrassed about it.
From the age of 6 or 7, my life's been fully recorded. It's funny that. No wonder I'm a product of the system.
Hello, this is Jennifer Bryson at Buslink. I'm looking for Gary Fraser. Gary, it's about the files that you want access to. I've been allocated to share that information, and they're ready for you to get whenever you want. Okay, thank you, bye.
Fuck it, whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger, eh?
I've read through and I was getting a real sense of you being a real character. And some of the things you got up to, I was like, ooh, want to meet this guy.
What was the ones that...
Well, you were forever running away, so obviously the system wasn't doing it for you. I've got Howden Hall, Rossie, Midfield, St Joseph's. I've got Foster Placement, Kenmure St Mary's, Woodland School, Newton Stewart. But remember, I reckon there's about 1,500 pages because I've got 287 here. But the one I noticed there was that he'd stolen a boat. Gary has been arrested, charged with theft of a boat, and will probably be held in police custody for the rest of the weekend. Yeah, so there's loads of, you know, these are emergency social work reports. So these are, you know, contacted by A&E Royal Infirmary. Gary made his own way reporting he'd taken too many jellies.
I never drunk alcohol or that, so as you can see, I wasn't one of the type of teenagers that went away and drunk.
No, right enough. Do you know, there's never, when I went through this, there was never any mention of alcohol.
I think I was too scared that I was going to end up like my dad, so I stayed away from the drink altogether.
Right,
and
yeah.
I think, see, because of being street-wide, I was always scared that, see, if I was drunk, that's when I was going to end up getting, like...
Something would happen to you.
That's when I thought...
Somebody would take advantage of you.
Absolutely.
Sexually, aye.
The hardest thing about being about the care system is that the members of staff that are the best are the ones that are most likely to lose their jobs.
Yeah.
Most people have got photographs for their childhood. I said, I've got care files.
Seems to be a recurrent theme in Gary's life, that everybody just takes me in.
Families take me in left, right and centre. Always in the search for a family or people to take me in and love me. Can't I believe that I'm driving past the same houses that I used to stay in when I was a bairn, on the run. Walking up to my first children's home is probably one of the hardest decisions I've ever made. I had some good times in there. There was laughs, we got to go bowling, you got clothing grants. But by that time the damage had already been done. My first placement was foster parents. After they took me out of Muir House, they put me in a young person's unit in Balerno. Within the first week I was sexually abused. And this guy, a 14-year-old guy, walked into my room and told me that if I didn't and put his penis in my mouth and suck it like a lollipop, he was going to batter me. And I couldn't tell anybody in Muir House about that. I couldn't tell anybody about that apart from a member of staff. How can I tell anybody about that? Everybody will just think I'm a poof. Or they'll just let it happen. Ha ha ha, Gary. Ha ha ha, Gary. And within about 3 months of that happening, I was in self-destruct mode until I left care. And not once did anybody ask me if I was ever abused when I was in children's homes. Is it any wonder I had a deep distrust for adults for 10 years old onwards? This is me going back to visit a woman who tried to foster me when I was in Sycamore. It's funny because the first time she met me, basically what had happened is her daughter Tracy's a year younger than me, and she snuck me into her home. And when she snuck me into her home, she hid me in the linen cupboard. So at 6 o'clock in the morning, her mum's getting ready for work, and she puts her hand into the linen cupboard, and what does she find? A wee 11-year-old laddie lying in the fucking linen cupboard. Yeah. Is your name Roseanne? Aye. Oh, you don't remember me, you know? No. Remember I was in the children's home with Gary? I was the wee laddie that you found in the...
Cupboard.
Uh-huh.
Well, you're not the window cleaner. You're taking the pass.
No, I'm not the window cleaner. I only came through to see you, just to thank you.
All right, you Gary Fraser. Oh, shut up, Rebecca. Anyway, I'm glad you're all right, son.
I think everybody, this was the place I wanted to come, came out when I was younger. So I think like what I wanted to do the most when I came through here was like thank you for showing me affection and showing me like what a family is like, because I came out of the homes like a nutter. I thought like the way I came out of the homes was like...
Well, when you come here you were calm and you loved it, but then they dragged you away from here and you just went...
That's what the problem is, they took me away from
right,
somewhere that was all
They took
right.
you away that was all right, and then you fought against them and done something wrong again, eh?
Aye, it's like, they didn't listen. Like, this would have been, I think this place would have been perfect. I think your family, I think everything would have been perfect. There wasn't any reason for them to be the way they were, but I just didn't think they listened that much.
So why did you never come back after you reached a certain age?
Once I started taking drugs, I started dealing them heavy. I started going down to London, hooked up with the Turkish mafia in London.
Oh my God.
And then came back up here, started dealing loads of heroin, and then that's when I started hearing stories about Fife, that Sankey was on this and so-and-so was on this, and I'd never experienced any of that for that. And I wanted to come through in the big flash BM, and I thought, that's no me. I didn't want to come back through to Kirkcaldy like, oh, look at me, I'm the big man.
Me now, aye,
I wanted to come back through, I didn't ever...
Did they forget your roots?
No, no danger,
way,
that's why I'm sort of back through here to...
Oh, Gary. Oh, good son. God bless you, sonny. What a shame. It's not a shame because it's everything's turned out brilliant.
As I left Roseanne, she gave me a letter. A letter she must have kept back after all these years. This is what it read.
Dear Roseanne, hi. How's things? Are you still in hospital? I had to cry myself to sleep last night. I will probably have to do the same tonight. That's how depressing it is. And I'm being God's honestly truthful. I've cried every night and day since I've got back. I got told I'm not allowed to phone you or nothing. I swear to God I'm going to go mad in this shithole. Sorry I never got you a get well soon card. Well, if you are still in hospital, you will be alright. Well, got to go. Love from Gary. P.S. I miss you very much and I love you, and I will give you a tear.
I went to the doctors last week, and I was trying to tell them that I was struggling with the prescription that I'm on. I was saying to them that I was having a problem when it came to maybe using again, because I'm making a film which has got a lot of emotional shit in it, blah blah blah, etc. And the doctor's response to it was that they can get me back to CDPS by Monday, which would have been last Monday. So my plan is that I'm going to come off of these. That's the plan. So the time that you watch this film, I'll be drug free. The time that I speak to the doctor, I'll be drug free, so it means I don't fuck all on me. But this is the bottom end of the drug addiction. This is grassroots of drug addiction. This is how they handle you. One for anxiety, painkillers when I'm not in pain, but they've got opiates in them, so it numbs emotional pain. The only bastard about taking drugs that numb emotional pain is when you come off, it's like that pain's tenfolded, and you'll probably see that soon as well when I come off, when you see me lying in the bed.
The government in this country is spending 28 million a year on methadone to deal with heroin addicts. That's what I call a successful dealer. But I think it's a waste of money. It's a fucking disgrace. Methadone just keeps people like me trapped into their system. I never thought I'd end up growing up and turning into a junkie. I didn't think that would have happened to me, not on my path. At 16 years old, when I came out of the security units, I was so fit that I was advised to join the Marines or the Army. But then I took my first drug, dihydrocodone, DS, and my career in the drug world took off from there.
Oh, this is fucking weird, like, coming back up here. This is where I got my first flat after being in the young offenders. Done a lot of damage up here, like. This is probably where my life changed. Used to be under surveillance for two of these top flats for the West End busies when I used to deal my smack up here. I used to control all the heroin at 1, 2, 3, 4 streets, 5 streets. I made so much money. I'm gonna try and go on my old stair and see what the fuck happens. I'll show you what I've done at the back doors, and this is why I never ever got healthy sentences up here. See the lock on the door? All these back greens have got certain locks on them that I took off. So when I ran out, when I got chased off the police, or I knew that the police were coming, or I knew somebody was coming to my door,
or I'd just say that I was wanting to go to stealing because a lot of the shit that we'd done was at night time. So it's quite hard when this is quite dark at night and all these back greens are really dark. So what I'd done was went out with a screwdriver and took the lock off of this door and about 8 other doors in the back greens so I could run out from here into this back square and then choose about 3 doors, go into one of them, be out another street. And the police were always chasing their tail. Even while I had a habit now, I was still trying to do stuff like go to college or try and do something with myself, no be a waster basically. And then on Easter break for college, I took a bag of smack. I was all sick all about the place. I think we all thought by burning heroin it was different. It was a different feeling by burning heroin what was to injecting, and you couldn't get a habit if you burnt it. And then the constant transport, and they were for the 80s, they were all dafties, we were different. It's a lot cooler when you've got a bit of foil in your hand. Obviously it wasn't, but it still seemed like that at the time. It just seemed like it was a fashionable thing to do. And every cunt was doing it, and I mean like, fucking pure random. I used to come out and every cunt was sitting all here, like literally open my window, like who's wanting? And I used to have like 4 here, 4 in there. Because I wasn't letting cunts up to the house. I became more violent. What I'd done was just rattled this cunt's knee about, I don't know, about 20 times, 30 times with a ballpoint hammer. I remember the guy tried to stand up. And when he stood up, his leg folded backwards. So it went like in on itself. And me and him like, ugh. So if we were like that, you can just imagine what the fucking guy's scream was like. And that just made me feel even more fucking invincible, that I was just going to keep managing to do what I was doing and there wasn't going to be any consequences for my actions. Last time that I was here, the last time that I was here was probably what you would call rock bottom. I think most alkies or most junkies in that say, but I hit rock bottom first. And I hit rock bottom with a crack. In hindsight, looking back on it, I pretty much say the reason that I never got caught is because the West End police were probably building up a big, massive case on me. So if I'd kept on the path that I was going, the buses would have got me, but because I fucked up with the crack, I just started taking the crack, and then before I knew it, I was spending like $1,000 a day on crack. The person that I was when I was here just isn't inside me anymore. I do kind of believe in God or that or not, but I know that if there is such a thing as God, then there is a heaven or a hell. For the shit that I've done in this year, definitely I'm going to hell. It's like you've rung a doorbell and it's fucking stuck. You could just imagine like a wee immigrant or something out there.
Hi Gary.
Hiya.
The results are here, but I can't really read them. Do you want to phone me back about 11:30 and you can speak to one of the doctors and he'll go through it with you?
That'd be brilliant, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay, bye.
Cheers, bye.
Want milk? Hey, listen, Destiny, you have to go sleepy now. Some milk? Want some milk? Mummy, put it there. Listen, no. You go sleepy now. Mummy, put it there. Wash your tail. Say nights. Nights, Destiny. Shook. She says. Do you remember this when Gary J was lying in his cot?
When did you first know that you'd fallen in love with me?
First I heard about you in the Rye. You were the one that tortured people. You were one that put somebody's head through a wall. I think the first time that I knew that we were in love was when I first took that pregnancy test. And sadly, obviously, we miscarried. I just remember lying up at my dad's for that long, just cuddling into you. You made me feel so safe and just so... It was hard for the both of us, but obviously everybody felt sorry for me and I felt sorry for you because nobody seemed to think it affected you. Do you know what I mean?
What was it like to see me getting stabbed?
I tell you what, that was one of the most scariest moments in my life. And I did always say to you when I first met you that I'm going to see you getting stabbed with your own blade, and it happened, and I knew it was going to happen one day. And I remember going up the lift in Oxyangs and being absolutely petrified because all I seen was blood everywhere.
When I first met my wife Angela, I didn't think I'd ever seen something so beautiful in my whole life. I proposed to her within the first week after taking her out on a date. Angela was definitely my first love. Without a doubt, the turning point for me was when Gary J, our first son, was born. I think that once I'd cut that cord, I knew even something back then had to change.
Get this bit.
We now have 3 lovely kids, and I love them all dearly. I know our lives would be much better off if I could come off the drugs and beat my addiction. I just wish there was a magic way out. But in real life, it doesn't work like that. This isn't a fucking fairy tale. I haven't taken any drugs. I want to come off. But withdrawing is hard as fuck. And it's hitting me really hard. This is my second night rattling, 2 days without fuck all, and I feel pure shit.
This is second night rattling, 2 days without fuck all. I feel fucking shit. My nose is runny. Diarrhea's just coming at me. I can't even film it. I haven't even got to get anybody to film it because it's just fucking... It's too hard. I keep having panic attacks, like left, right and centre. I'm having panic attacks. I just think to myself, why the fuck have I chose to do this in the middle of a film? Especially my first fucking film. Why did I choose to try and do this in the middle of my... Why did I try and choose to do this in the middle of my first film? Every time before, like, I've rattled in a jail. Oh, rattle somewhere else. Like, rattling just means withdrawn. Every time I've done it, I don't know, maybe I've done a fucking wrong thing. Especially try to do it like this. Like, I want my film to be good. I want my film to show people certain things. I want my story to show people certain things. And you can't do it if you're having fucking panic attacks and in the morning I'm supposed to be working or doing something. I'm supposed to be doing something to do with the film, to do with the story. I want to shoot this video diary. I really do want to shoot this video diary. I want to just show people what it's like to come off opiates just on camera. I don't think I'm going to manage to do it. I really don't think I'm going to manage to do it. This is... Well, I hate doing this shit, like, whatever, but I think if you've noticed one thing by now, that I don't care what I'm talking about, I'm not fucking doing violence. Just cut, I don't care what I'm doing. I feel ashamed for taking the smack. I feel dirty for taking the smack, for relapsing.
Nobody will give me a harder time for relapsing than me. I don't know. Me being expressive in the way I am, it takes my mind off of having a habit, it takes my mind off of where I come from, it takes my mind off of my past, it takes my mind off of everything that's bad in my life, because when you're me, you want to just do everything. You want to taste everything, I want to go everywhere I want, but you don't understand how you can't. It's like, well, how can I not go to Spain? How can I not go to Berlin? How can I not do all that stuff? And then you got to understand why you can't. And it's like ambition and achievements in me, but I just didn't ken where it's gone. Do you know what I mean? When you're on the drugs, that ambition and achievement is definitely suppressed, so you didn't feel half as bad about being a failure. Lord, forgive me for never doing what I'm told. And please forgive me, Lord, for every bag that I sold. And forgive this poetry for being so bold. This is the street where me and my sister used to play when we were younger. These were the happiest days of our life, before I was taken into care. Now it just feels like the silence is deafening. Fuck, it is for dramatic effect, like. This is the road that we all used to fight and play at. That's where I got the scar on my head. I still don't know whether to believe half the stories that have been told now. This was me, Gary at 4 years old. My dad climbing up that drain pipe when he was drunk trying to kidnap me. I don't know why my mum moved about so much. I don't know why I went for political post. I was just about killed when my mum moved across to this side. See, the outside this doesn't mean much, but this is Poulton, and where I come from is Muirhouse. I used to have to get chased along these streets when I had to get to my mum's house, when she stayed with her boyfriend. Just as soon as I get close to that flat though, the smells, the shouting, the feelings come back as if it was just happened yesterday. I can still hear my wee sister greeting as the belt hits her. I wasn't really that bothered about the pain of the belt. Even at a young age I just couldn't understand why my mum let her boyfriend hit me. I'm not just talking about a hit. I'm talking about whipping with a rubber diving belt. It was a fucking ex-soldier. Now everything's different. I never ever thought I'd be back here like this. I've proved my mum wrong. I've proved them all wrong. I'm not going to spend my whole life in a jail. But I need to go back. Back to my mum and my dad.
Just ask them why. Why did everything in my life become so fucked up? I mean, I could come through here and I could just go straight into conflict with my old man. I could just say to him, why did you hit me? Like I was a fucking man when I was just a child. Why did you do? But that's pointless. That's not intelligence. That's just telling you what happened. I actually want to show you, and to show you what happened, I can't have that aggression and conflict there. It needs to be an observational point of view. When you're the person on the other end of that belt, it's very hard to have an observational point of view. But let's see how good a filmmaker I am by having an impartial observational point of view. Don't know why I'm so scared. Nervous. Don't know why I'm so nervous. When you're looking back on your own life and stuff like that, how do you feel about it?
I just wish you could turn the clock back.
Yeah.
But whether you would do the same again, if you turn the clock back, it'd be a different saying. You didn't kind of you do the same carry on or not.
Is there always a lot of fighting between you and Mum? I can't really remember. I can just remember a couple of
I
arguments.
think it was just mere arguing all the time. Just through money as usual.
Money.
That's it.
See, temper. Do you think temper's been a problem for you?
Oh, I've not got a bad temper now, no compared to what it used to be like years ago.
Do you think your old age has sort of just mellowed you out a bit? Wiser?
Aye.
I think I've inherited your temper. I've got it, like, I just can't control it sometimes. It's
Well, I'm the same, pal. I'm no bad now, no compared to what it used to be years ago.
When I first started running away and stuff like that, how did that make you feel, like, when I first started running away?
I just didn't kind of if I was coming or going. But when you run away, you just went to the phone box and you phoned the police and the police come and got you and brought you in.
And can you remember the time that Marco Sean and everybody was in the house?
Aye.
I think that was like the last time that I was here before they took me away to foster care or something like that. Do you remember that time?
Because when the police brought you back in, I was going to hit you and the police said, you a Hamby will do you assault.
I remember.
Just temper wise.
You had a healthy reputation for a fighter and that in the pubs and that as well.
Aye.
I bet you can't remember half your fights, you know?
Well, half the times it was getting through stupidness, but I would bang them first before they'd ask questions. I'd hit them and then I'd ask questions after. No, now I'd rather have a pint of beer and walk away.
Aye.
Fucking safer.
How did Grandad discipline you?
Just used to barrays.
With his hand, or was it like skelters or
sometimes
belt?
we got skelters, sometimes we got the belt. It depends how bad you'd be.
Like I remember like scalping my bum and stuff like that, like under the belt.
Aye.
See, you just done exactly the way, obviously less, because it wasn't as severe as what obviously you got for Grandad. But do you think it's like a generation thing? So you went for your dad and then you disciplined like that?
That's it.
So how does it feel
How did it feel when I first came back into your life now?
It's good. It was good just to get back into a relationship again. Because it's like you think you were never going to get contact again. Eh? It made me feel a lot better, you know. Kind of wasn't no telling any lies. I was quite happy when I got to Kenya again. I've not seen anyone for that fucking long. Once we got back together, it was fucking brilliant.
I didn't ever think we'd have a relationship again.
No, well, that was the same frame of mind, I know, eh? But we got back together and that was the main.
I think it took me to become a man to realise what a man was and the frustrations and what...
Well, you realise what hassle you caused now, eh? Right, there we are.
Cheers. Thank you.
Right, no problem.
Sure.
Speak to you sometime.
I do want to move on in my life and completely leave my past behind me. Maybe this journey is going to help me. I need to knock on the doors of uncles and cousins that I haven't seen for a while, to see where my mum stays.
On the back way. I'm going to go and try and find your sister, Ella.
She's in Gorbridge, isn't she?
I reckon, is that where she is?
Aye, close to the chippy.
Hey,
mate.
how you doing?
Fucking sound as, mate, sound as. Good to see you,
Bounce
mate.
in. Bounce in. Oh.
How's it going?
Where can we go?
Fancy, you got a couple of... pardon?
Pint.
Aye.
Brilliant.
We just, aye.
I can speak about what it was like for...
I was growing up in that scene.
Aye.
Aye, no worries, cuz.
Brilliant.
Good to see you again, my man.
Cheers, mate.
Go on here. Fucking run and get flags, man. I'm fucking 210 of me, man. There's Uncle Benny.
There's my uncle.
All right, Benji. Anybody, who's in? Uncle Jacob, that?
How you doing?
Any of them?
Oh, no bad.
No bad, eh?
Benny.
Oh.
Do you know where my mum's staying these days, nah? No, got a clue?
Is she still at Gorbridge?
I think so.
Gorbridge, across to the chippy, my Uncle John was saying.
Aye, Arniston Chippy.
Is it in Gorbridge?
Arniston Chippy.
Hey, Uncle Benny, see there?
I know all this has got a story behind it, you know what I mean? And like your story,
the backstory that takes it.
Aye, but your story is a fucking story. You know what I mean? Your story is a story for a young boy who went downhill, really downhill, who basically, in my eyes, was never getting back up that hill. And you've done his fucking proud, mate. Absolutely proud, mate.
Cheers. So what do you think's the best way for me to approach Ella then? Cause give me some advice, what do you think I should say?
Aye.
You've been brought up in a good way with like a loving family, like a good loving mum and a good loving dad.
Aye.
And I've been brought up with a good dad, but I think a mum who doesn't ken how to be a mum really, if that's a right way to say it, if you know what I mean.
I think if you put her on the spot and says to her, do you think you could have done better? I think she would say aye.
We'll try.
Until I had my own son, I wished Ella had an abortion. I never ever felt loved by my mum. I always felt like I was a big mistake. I think Ella hates me.
Just calm, man, cause it's only a fucking mum has had fuck out today with you, you didn't give a fuck. You just want to be... Fuck's sake, man. Number 12, that's my mum says in there. What's in there?
Hiya.
Hiya.
Hiya, mate, how you doing?
You've lost some weight, have you not?
Oh, I'll show you, mate. Has it done this all? Took my week to do this.
Took my week to do this whole. That gate was all the way round. All the way right round.
The big Merc and all that.
Eh?
The big Merc. The
Ah.
Merc just come past.
Catch you later.
Love you.
Take care.
Take care. Chill. He really couldn't really give a fuck if she sees me again or not. In her words, I've made my bed, so I'll lie in it, basically. There was no love. There was no... I don't know what to say, mate. I mean, this is just like being back into being a baron again. Like, my mum says that I never felt the hell over Frey Bento's pie, that my dad was a prick, that she was the one that was out working her arseholes off in 2 jobs, 3 nights a week. Somebody else looked after us, somebody capable looked after us. And the reason that I got put into care was because I just was a wee bastard and I couldn't handle any more. They couldn't handle me anymore. So, if I'm getting this right, my mum couldn't handle me anymore because I was a wee bastard. My dad couldn't handle me anymore because I was a wee bastard. Right, I'm thinking myself, right, aye, no problem, no problem. They're talking about a laddie that's younger than Gary J. They're talking about somebody that's younger than what my wee laddie is now. Without a doubt, education saved my life. I've come back to the college where I first learned how to use a camera, to speak to my ex-lecturer and see what it was like for him, actually having a student like me.
How you doing? How you keeping? The chance that you gave me definitely saved my life, or the opportunity that was presented. I remember going up to the old college.
I think it was you that sort of did it really, because I mean, my instinct was, you know, this guy's like obviously on something, and you know, there's no way just looking at you that he's going to like be able to succeed in the media, because you know what media people are like, and so I'm like making an instant judgment there. But then you were so determined, you know, and you kept coming around and pushing me. I thought, what the hell, you know, give it a shot. You know, I said, if you finish your NC, you know, I'll let you on the course.
But you were the first person to show me what I looked like on drugs. We'd done a mock interview In the mock interview we'd done, I was on my normal prescription. We showed it back upstairs. You never showed it to anybody else. You just put it on. And I remember how stoned I actually looked. And I thought that I put myself across in such a presentable way. I came in with a suit and that on, I think. Came in with my suit and that on. And I gave the mock interview. When I looked at it back, that was the first ever time that I'd seen, this is what people see with Gary then. And for me, that was time to come off. That was one of the moments where it was like, nah, this is time to start really looking at getting clean now and coming off.
The noticeable changes were obviously coming off the drugs, or I remember you trying to come off the methadone once or twice, and that was a struggle. So seen that, and you were consciously aware that that was a problem for you, and you were working through it. You also used to mention Gary J a lot. You used to say Gary J was the turning point in your life. And so as a family guy, I think that was driving you as well. And you were driven.
For the writing now, I really do feel like there's a moral responsibility that I've got, that the previous experience that I've got is all dripped in blood.
Yeah, that's one of the things that sort of blew me away when you'd written I can't remember which draft it was. You did do the drafts. You did several drafts of scripts of Tolerance. It wasn't called that then. What was it called? Green, aye. And I said, yeah, it's all right, it's good, but there's something wrong with the end. The end's not really working. I mean, what you need is an end that makes people go, wow, I've never seen that before. And that's sort of, away you go, I thought. And so you went away and you came back, and I thought, bloody hell, that's amazing. Where did that come from? That thing about the ambulance guy standing outside the door and being scared to come in, or not being allowed to come in. I thought, that never even occurred to me that might happen. And it happens, obviously.
We bring the funkin' back in. 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 We bring the funkin' back in.
I don't have tools. What's happening, boys? Come on then.
Show your
Yeah, just do a fucking blade out. You did fucking put up. You did not a fucking blade, you fucking man. You smashed him. Smash him.
Mikey, cousin! Do it, Mikey! He's a wee fanny! Oh, Andrew! What the fuck you done, you wee fanny?
You punchy asshole! You wee bastard! Fuck off!
People like me wear their heart on their sleeves. Outspoken. Not afraid to speak about social issues that other people shy away from. Sometimes in life you've just got to nail your colours to the mast, and that's what I've done when it's come to the filmmaking. I've decided not to be a criminal, not to be a drug dealer, help parents, and nail my colours to the mast that this is what makes sense to me, being creative and experiencing different colours and how to use everything to your advantage. This is the fourth time that I've tried to get my results, so I'm just going to go into the doctors and fuck it. We'll see you. Negative. The result was negative.
This is the area that taught me everything that I needed to know to survive on the streets. This is where all my family were. All my life I ran away in search of a family that wanted to love me, but now I've got one of my own. I'm a proud father with 2 daughters and a son.
Mommy, try and find them today.
Hugs. Ah, no. Don't look in hiding. Everything got in.
Shots.
Yours
for days.
Everything got in.
It's funny coming down here. This is the last ever place that I was innocent.
This is the place where I jumped about with my first ever crew, or whatever. It's not even a crew, just fucking stupid bearings. And I think there's 2 of us left alive, out of the 5 of us that were down here that day, probably.
Maybe this whole fucking world just doesn't make sense to me, and that's just the way it's supposed to be. I don't know what answers I was expecting. Maybe I was looking, hoping to get a new sense of identity. Maybe that's the silver lining at the end of the story. There is always hope. Making this film is all I know, and it's the only thing that keeps me out of trouble. And it makes my kids proud, and it makes my family proud. And I can take some pride in the fact I am who I am, and I'll continue my life in my very own Gary Fraser way.